Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of Washington quarter dollars, a coin that's been a part of American life since 1932. While most look like ordinary change, some hold rare mint marks, silver content, and valuable errors that make them highly sought after by collectors. Let's take a closer look at the history, key dates, and hidden treasures found in Washington quarters. The 1985 Washington quarter dollar was minted at the Denver Mint and is a part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932. Like others in this series, it features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design by John Flanagan. The reverse design includes an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows and olive branches beneath. This design remained unchanged until the launch of the State Quarters program in 1999. The coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel, giving it a silvery appearance. In good condition, a 1985 quarter would retain much of its original design detail, though with minor signs of wear from circulation. The coin should have clearly legible inscriptions, visible mint mark, and moderate luster, especially in protected areas of the coin. On the obverse, George Washington's profile remains prominent, with some flattening likely on the high points, such as the cheekbone, jawline, and hair details. The date 1985 sits beneath the bust, with the word Liberty arched across the top and "In God We Trust" positioned to the left of Washington's face. The demint mark is found to the right of the ribbon in his hair, clearly identifying it as minted in Denver. If the coin is well preserved, the lines in the hair and the separation in the letters should still be distinguishable. The reverse of the coin includes the words United States of America along the top edge, e pluribus unum above the eagle's head, and quarter dollar along the bottom. In good condition, the detail on the eagle's feathers, talons, arrows, and olive branches remains visible, though the very fine details may be softened from circulation. The rim should be complete and without major dents or gouges. In terms of mintage, over 500 million of the 1985 Washington quarters were produced, making it a common coin that is widely available. While circulated or good condition examples do not carry significant collector premiums, coins from this year are often kept by hobbyists as part of date and mint mark collections. A coin in this state would not be considered rare, but it is still appreciated for its completeness and preservation of original features. Coins from the mid-1980s are often found in coin jars, cash drawers, and bulk coin rolls. This quarter likely passed through many hands and may have been used in parking meters, vending machines, and daily purchases for decades. Despite its regular use, it still maintains a strong representation of American numismatic design and practical durability. Washington quarters from the 1980s can also provide a snapshot of minting quality and practices during that period. For example, while coins were being produced in large numbers to meet growing economic demands, there were fewer varieties or errors widely reported for the 1985 quarter. However, some collectors examined these coins for weak strikes, minor planchet flaws, or off-center strikes, which may increase collector interest in certain pieces. The overall appeal of a good condition 1985 quarter is enhanced by a consistent surface, natural aging, and even wear. If the coin has been stored properly away from moisture in a non-reactive container, it may still have light luster and relatively clean fields, making it more desirable within its circulated category. From a historical perspective, the 1985 quarter was part of everyday life in the United States during a time of economic growth and cultural change. These coins were part of a robust and modern currency system and played a critical role in commerce. Even though they are not considered rare, quarters from this era continue to be collected for their completeness and as part of assembling full sets. In summary, the 1985 Washington quarter dollar in good condition is a common but attractive example of U.S. circulating coinage. Its well-preserved design, clear mint mark, and enduring materials make it a solid piece for collectors who appreciate coins from the late 20th century or those assembling a set of Washington quarters by year and mint. Next up we have the 1967 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that was minted during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. It does not bear a mint mark, as all quarters from 1965 to 1967 were struck without them. This decision was part of a broader effort by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding during a time when the country was transitioning away from silver coinage. The 1967 quarter features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, a design that was originally created by John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. The design remained in use for decades with only minor adjustments. In a circulated condition with some scratches, the coin will generally show moderate wear on high points such as Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline, despite the scratches. Key features including the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1967 should remain legible. The reverse of the coin depicts an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below. Around the rim, the inscriptions "United States of America" and "quarter dollar" are present, along with the motto "E pluribus unum." In circulated condition, the finer details of the eagle's feathers and the texture of the arrows and olive branches may be worn smooth, but the overall layout and major features should still be identifiable. The presence of scratches suggests the coin experienced regular handling, possibly as part of day-to-day transactions for several years. By 1967, quarters were no longer made of silver. Starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which consists of a pure copper core with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This change was made primarily to reduce costs and conserve precious metal reserves. As such, the 1967 quarter contains no silver and holds face value in most circulated conditions unless part of a high-grade collection or a unique era variety. Although the coin may show surface scratches, it still retains historical and collecting interest. The lack of a mint mark is not an error, but a result of mint policy at the time. Because hundreds of millions of these quarters were minted, over 1.5 billion in total, the 1967 quarter is among the most common coins in U.S. circulation from the 1960s. Its abundance and lack of mint mark make it a typical, but still valued part of many collections that focus on the post-silver era of U.S. coinage. Collectors who include this coin in a set are often seeking to complete a year-by-year collection of Washington quarters, or may be interested in acquiring a representative coin from the period during which the U.S. Mint adapted to significant monetary changes. The 1967 quarter stands as a marker of this shift from silver to clad coinage, as well as the Mint's experimentation with mint mark suppression. Scratches on a coin such as this are normal, especially for coins that have circulated for decades. The extent and visibility of the scratches can impact the coin's grade and, therefore, its appeal to collectors. While lightly circulated coins with minor blemishes can still be considered good examples, more heavily damaged coins are typically kept for sentimental or illustrative value rather than as investment pieces. A coin in this condition would generally be categorized as good to very good on the numismatic grading scale, depending on the amount of visible detail remaining and the severity of the scratches. Most 1967 quarters in this condition are worth face value, although high-grade uncirculated or special mint set examples can command modest premiums. In summary, the 1967 Washington quarter is a historically significant piece due to its place in the transition from silver to clad coinage. Even with scratches, it remains a recognizable and collectible item, valued more for its historical context and completeness in a collection than for its rarity or precious metal content. Its enduring design and wide circulation ensure it continues to hold a small place in numismatic interest and American currency history. Next up we have the 1980 Washington quarter dollar is part of a widely circulated series that has been a staple of American coinage since its initial release in 1932. The coin features the familiar design of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. The D-Mint mark on this coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint. Coins from this period were composed primarily of a copper-nickel clad, with a copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel, giving them a silver-colored appearance. In circulated condition, the 1980 D quarter shows signs of wear typical of coins that have been used for years in day-to-day transactions. This includes light to moderate flattening of the high points in the design, particularly on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. The rim may show some smoothness or minor dings from contact with other coins and surfaces. The flat areas around the designs may exhibit scratches, nicks, and discoloration from handling and age. One noteworthy aspect of quarters from 1982 is that this was a year when no official uncirculated mint sets were produced by the U.S. Mint due to budget constraints. As a result, finding high-grade examples from this year, particularly in uncirculated condition, can be more challenging. While circulated 1980 D quarters are common and typically only worth face value, collectors often pay more attention to them due to the absence of mint sets, which affects the availability of mint state coins from that year. The obverse of the coin features the left-facing bust of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. The inscription Liberty appears at the top, with the motto "In God We Trust" on the left and the date 1980 to below the bust. The mint mark D is located to the right of the ribbon in Washington's hair. In a circulated example, the finer details such as the texture in the hair and the definition in the lettering may be worn but should remain readable. The reverse of the coin carries the image of an eagle standing on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a design also by John Flanagan. The words United States of America arch above the eagle, and E pluribus unum is inscribed just above the eagle's head. The denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom, where uncirculated examples typically first appears on the eagle's wings, breast, and the upper edge of the arrows and leaves. Due to the high mintage over 480 million pieces from the Denver Mint alone, the 1980 D quarter is not rare, and in circulated condition, it is readily available in change or bulk coin lots. The coin's appeal lies mostly in its place within numismatic collections focused on assembling every date and mint mark combination of Washington quarters. While circulated coins from this year usually do not command premium prices, collectors may seek coins with strong details, even wear, and minimal surface damage. Coins with unusual features, such as dye varieties, errors, or particularly nice eye appeal for their grade, may hold more value. Some 1980 D quarters have been noted to exhibit weak strikes or plancha issues, which can attract additional interest. Coins from the early 1980s, including this 1980 D quarter, represent an era of high coin production as inflation increased and the demand for circulating currency grew. These coins were part of daily commerce and were used in vending machines, payphones, parking meters, and everyday purchases. Though often overlooked, each coin serves as a small piece of history, reflecting the economic conditions and minting practices of its time. The copper-nickel-clad quarters are less likely to tarnish severely, but they can show signs of age through darkening or patchy toning, especially if stored improperly or subjected to humidity. In circulated condition, it is not uncommon for a 1980 D quarter to show some fading or graying, with less luster than a freshly minted coin. Despite its commonality, the 1980 D quarter can be meaningful to collectors who are building sets by year and mint mark or who want a representative piece from the early 1980s. It also serves as an educational example for studying wear patterns, mint mark placement, and the durability of modern clad coinage. Overall, the 1980 D Washington quarter in circulated condition is a durable and typical example of late 20th century U.S. coinage. It holds historical value more than monetary value, and remains a staple among collectors interested in assembling a full set of Washington quarters or studding coins from periods of limited U.S. mint production output. Next up we have the 1970 Washington quarter dollar is a coin minted in Denver, as indicated by the small d mint mark on the obverse, to the right of George Washington's ponytail. This coin is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, which began in 1930 to honor the first president of the United States. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1970 centered at the bottom. In good condition, the coin retains most of its original details, although light were maybe visible on Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline. The high points of the portrait may show some smoothing from circulation, but the overall appearance remains pleasing, with no significant damage or corrosion. Minor surface wear is typical for a circulated coin of this age, and any discoloration or small nicks are expected. The D-Mint mark remains clearly visible, confirming its origin from the Denver Mint. The reverse of the coin features the classic eagle design, also by Flanagan. The eagle stands with wings spread wide atop a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and preparedness, and is surrounded by olive branches beneath it to signify peace. Around the top edge are the words United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum is printed just above the eagle's head. The denomination quarter dollar curves along the bottom edge. In this condition, the eagle's feathers, particularly those on the chest and wingtips, may show moderate smoothing, but the main features are still visible. The rim and inscriptions are generally intact, and there are no major defects that would significantly detract from its overall appearance. The coin's edges retain their reading, though some flattening may be evident from years of use. This quarter is composed of a copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of copper and nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel. The clad coinage began in 1965, replacing silver coins due to rising silver prices and economic considerations. By 1970, this composition was well established, and the mint was producing millions of coins for circulation each year. Approximately 417 million Washington quarters were minted in Denver in 1970, making this a common issue, while not a rare or high-value coin in circulated condition. The 1970 D quarter can still hold interest for collectors, especially those assembling year sets or mint mark sets. It is a representative example of 1970s American coinage and reflects the economic and production trends of the time. A coin in good condition, like this one, is generally worth its face value unless it has unusual errors or is in exceptional, uncirculated condition. The 1970 D quarter does not have any widely recognized or common errors, but like all coins, isolated die varieties or minting mistakes can exist. Coins with such features might show doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or other anomalies, and can be worth more depending on the severity and rarity of the error. However, standard circulated coins like this one typically do not command a premium unless part of a broader collection or of interest to someone focusing on the Denver Mint's output. In conclusion, the 1970 D Washington quarter in good condition is a standard example of U.S. coinage from the era. While not rare, it carries historical interest and remains a durable and well-recognized piece in the Washington quarter series. It reflects the consistency of the U.S. Mint's production during a time of economic stability and widespread circulation of copper-nickel coinage. Collectors may include such coins for completeness, while others may appreciate them for their design, historical significance, or personal memories of their use in everyday transactions.